Hi everyone, my name is Wesley from Unorthodox Productions and welcome to episode 14 of Creating Bass Loops Live, the live stream where I create wonderful exclusive bass guitar loops for all of you wonderful music producing producers out there. So in this live stream, I'm going to speak a little bit about music theory, and then I'm going to listen to this track that I've got on the screen, and then I'm going to compose a bass line, and then I'm going to upload that bass line, and you'll be able to buy it as soon as you see me upload it using the QR code that is beneath my, let's get a bit more volume on my headphones, that is beneath my video. So you can see down there you'll have one QR code that says buy this bass loop, and then another one that says encourage me. So if you, after you see me upload this bass line, if you scan the QR code, you'll be able to go directly to my site and you'll be able to buy the bass line that you see me create. So after you see me upload it, I'm going to put the bass down, move a bit closer towards the screen, and I'm going to do some experimentation with the bass line that I just created, and that is to demonstrate the flexibility of these bass lines, because I think they are very flexible. The idea is to create a 10-minute bass guitar loop, as you can see on the screen. Like I'm going to be filling up this entire space here. So the idea is to create a 10-minute bass guitar loop, because back in the day when I was using bass loops, or when I was trying to use loops, I found that they lacked variation. And so let's say, you know, you're creating a track, you create an intro, you know, for 8 bars or whatever. Then you have a verse, and let's say your loop is 16 bars long. You got this verse, the verse is 16 bars and the loop is 16 bars. So it's cool, right? It's fine for the verse 1. But then verse 2, I always felt like I just want a little bit of change. And then maybe verse 3, that was more popular back in the day. Like verse 3, I want another change. And the loops that I had access to, they never did that. They never grew, like they weren't dynamic. So I thought to myself that I'd create them. I got into a position, you know, I picked up the bass, learned it over the span of years, and then found myself in a position where I can solve this issue. So I create 10-minute bass guitar loops, and you know, I start with a relatively simple groove, and then over time it evolves into something more expressive. But throughout the time I'm adding variations. So got something called approach notes. So let's say, say that was our note, right? It's C. This is the target note. So you could come down into the C or go up into the C. That was the other way around. So actually this is going up into the C and this is going down to the C. So it's full of interesting movements like that. And then at some point I also, so say I'm playing a note like or bass line like, something simple like that. So I'll be playing that, but then I'll change to because the first idea might lend itself better to a verse, and the second idea might lend itself better to a chorus. And I wanted to bake that into these 10-minute bass lines. So if you're a music producer and you know you use loops, you're a loop-based music producer, you'll know that the average offering is about, you know, it's about, I'm just wondering, I've got 2 sets of numbers here, not sure. You know, they're about this much. Oh yeah, I do know why. I'll get to that in a minute. They're about this much. So let's be generous. Let's say it's a 16 bar loop. That's the average offering, let's say. But my offering is over 300 on this track is over 350 bars. So you can just imagine, like if you're into chopping and rearranging your samples or your loops, imagine what you could do with over 300 bars of all different expressions of a similar, or of a particular groove, because in music you do need some repetition, but you also need some variation, and it's a fine balance that you have to find. And I feel with these bass loops, at least you'll have that option to choose. Also on the topic of exclusivity, so with these bass lines, if I was to create this bass line tonight on this stream, and then you were to scan the QR code and download it, you would trigger a 24-hour timer, and after those 24 hours I would remove this bass line from my site, so nobody else will be able to buy it. And just like let's project it forward. So let's say today's Wednesday, right? So let's say in a week I got around to, or chose to, use clips from this bassline that I create in my social media activity. But if you was to then buy the bass loop, so let's say I posted 2 or 3 clips, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Insta, maybe. So let's say I posted to those places, but then you bought the bassline, that would trigger the 24-hour timer, right? So then after those 24 hours, I would remove it from my site. I would delete this video that you dislike, this whole live stream. I would delete the whole thing. And I would also delete any social media videos that featured clips of this bassline. And that is just to honor the exclusivity that creative people strive for, or need. I would say need. As an artist myself, producer, like I created this track, I'm about to, create a bass line. I like to be original. I like to, I want to be, I have this feeling of, wanting to be the first one or the only one with this idea in that way. They say there's nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done. That's a bar from someone. And there is some truth to that, but it doesn't mean that you can't reinvent something which already exists in such a way that really hits and is really very, very good and enjoyable. Okay, so that is about the bass lines. So yeah, the QR code where you can buy it is beneath, and there's another QR code which is encourage me. So if you want to encourage my musical endeavors, then you could scan that QR code and it will take you to an opportunity to do that. As you see here, I've got a new website coming soon. So if you follow me on social media, you'll know that I've been a bit quiet lately because I'm designing a new website and bringing the audio across and redesigning parts and creating new copy, like new text, like new descriptions for my bass lines. And it's a brand new direction, and I'm feeling quite excited about it, but it takes time, man. It takes time. So I can't wait to get this done. I really can't wait, but I still need to practice every day. I still need to cook. I still need to do bits and pieces. So it's coming along nicely. It's nice to have so many things to look forward to. It's like each task, each day is like just the best thing that I can be doing. Cool. All right. So let's get going with this this track that we've got going on here. So it is in the key of F major, and if you're unfamiliar with key and you're a music producer, I highly recommend looking into that. Talking of looking into things, let me just look into my live stream. Let's check that everything is okay. It seems to have an issue here. Alright, I'll come back to that, it's no important. So checking that my streaming is going live is not important, but it seems that people are joining, so that's cool. So if you're a music producer and you don't know about key signature, I highly recommend that you look into key signature. It's part of a power move. So the complete combination would be let me just mute this bass for you. So it would be key signature, chord progression, which is here, and these little gems here called modes. I'm not sure if I'll get into modes because it's a big topic, but I do recommend them. I highly recommend them. They are a mighty weapon. So yeah, key signature, right? So key signature is like a common rule. So if you play an instrument and you go jamming, or you'd like to go jamming, or you're interested in learning an instrument so you can go jamming in so jamming is when you go to, it's like a bar or somewhere with an open mic, and you just get on stage with a bunch of other musicians. You may not know them, might be complete strangers, and you start playing music. So what you might do, you might go on stage and, speak to the keyboardist and say, what key we playing in. He'll give you let's say he says F major. So then you know that your available notes that you can play are F, G, A, B flat, C, D, and E. So with those rules, you can, compose your melodies and basically play in a harmonious way with the rest of the band, which is, that's what we want to do. We want to have a good time with other musicians, with people, and then ultimately, if we're enjoying ourselves, then the rest of the room will enjoy themselves, which is what we want, right? To get joy from music. So within that, let me show you what that all means. Where did that H go? So, okay, let me unmute that just so you can hear. Cool. So this is our key, right? So so you can see that these are the notes, right? So you see these major, minor, minor, major. So that is talking about chords now. So it's talking about an F major chord, a G minor chord, an A minor chord. So let me just run through how they sound, right? So this is the chord. So it's 3 notes. So you got F major, so that's the 1. I'll just call out the numbers, right? So 1, 2, G minor, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you'd come back to the 1 again, but it would be an octave above, so it will sound like that, sound like this. And in those notes, you can see here, just make this a bit bigger so it's very clear. So you got number 1, right? F major. And in F major, we have the notes F, A, and C. G minor, 2. In G minor, we have the notes G, A sharp, and D. Yeah, I'll go through them all. A minor, A, C, E. B flat major, A sharp, B flat, D, and F. C major, C, E, and G. D minor, D, F, and A. And E diminished, E, G, and B flat again. So in this track, I'm using a chord progression. And a chord progression is... It's a movement within your chosen key signature. So our key signature is F major. The chord progression I'm choosing is a 2 to a 3. So with everything that I just said, we know that, so there's a 2 and there's a 3. So we're going from the G minor to the A minor. That's all that means. 2, 3, 2, 3. That's all the track does. And so let me just play so you can hear what that sounds like. And just before I do that, actually, so 2, right? So G minor, which is G, B flat, D, to A minor, A, C, E. And that sounds like. So G minor now, G minor, G minor, G minor to A minor. So I'll just play the bass notes. So G, G, to A, G, 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 A, 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 not yet. Not gonna do the bass line yet. But that's what is going to be happening. Like, that is the track, and those were the notes. And it's cool. Why is it cool to know this stuff? It's cool to know this stuff because you can get a sense of what you're hearing, the information within what you're hearing. And if you're a music producer, then that's good, because the more you know about what you love to do, the better. The more you know about what you love to do, the better you'll be able to express yourself in doing that, which is, for me at least, it's ultimately what I want to do. So, I started producing on Fruit Loops. I didn't have a clue what was happening really, and then just over time I began to work out the system, but I still wasn't into theory. I was just doing my thing, right? Then I went to college and did a course, learned about it for a few years, or 2.5 years. Then created an album to put the skills I just learned into practice. And then, all through time, developing, practicing, then began to get into theory, which was also, it's like the room is dark until you know about theory. Then I picked up the bass, started learning that, more theory, because I needed to know, what I'm doing and how to play. So yeah, theory just kind of took off once I started playing bass. And then here I am today, able to talk about theory and share that with others, which is great, because not only will you learn something, but it's good for me because it sort of relieves the pressure of wanting to talk about this stuff. So, close friends, it gives them a break, because it's not necessarily some of their common interests. So it's cool to just have this live stream and you people to not vent to, rant, but it's good to have kind of an open conduit to share this stuff out freely. And I highly recommend it. I can't recommend theory enough, man. It's super empowering. Cool. So that is the track. That is Key Signatures. Just a little bit about modes, maybe. So you've got F major, right? And so you've got the key signature. That's F major, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But within that, that's F major. So this top one, that's what that is, right? But then what about 2? Is that just 3 notes in the chord, or is it more? So it's more, because those notes in that chord that I show you, they have to come from somewhere, and it's not just 3 notes. So we've got F major, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then A. But then we've got the G, and it's a minor, but it's also called Dorian. So you got the number 1, which is an Ionian, which is, it tends to be like when people say major, that's typically what they're referring to, the Ionian. But then you've got a minor, a G minor Dorian. So it's the same notes, but just starting from a different position. And then we've got the 3 as well, and I'll stop at the 3 because that's kind of the scope for today. So and what's cool about the 3 is this little sound here. This little half step movement here, that's kind of its distinguishing factor. Like the 2 sounds like this, da, da, and the 3 is da, 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 da. Anyway, cool. Enough theory. Let's get into some making of music now. Cool, that was a big gulp. I wonder if you heard that. Let me know in the chat if you heard that. Not everyone wants to hear about music talk. That's what makes these platforms great. You can find people with common interests. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. And thanks for joining, man. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you turning up. Just check that Facebook. Yeah, cool. Yeah, definitely can find people with common interest. That is what's so cool. So yeah, some people might not resonate with the theory stuff. They might resonate more with the creating stuff. So yeah, let's get to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to this track, and I'm going to noodle around really until an idea hits me, or I pull an idea out of the ether, because all ideas are out there. You just gotta be in the right frame of mind, right place, right time, kind of thing. But you could definitely do things to encourage the flow of ideas, but maybe that's a topic for a different live stream, because that's kind of what I love talking about. So I could go into that for hours as well. Anyway, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this and then just noodle around, and then if I feel an idea coming, I might hit record just so that I don't lose the idea, because I could have the idea, it's coming, and then I'm feeling it, and then I stop and then speak about the idea, and then by the time I go back I might have lost it. So yeah, I might record a bit. Cool. All right, so let me just have a listen first. cool, but I don't think I'm holding bass enough on it. And I really like, so the minor sound, so you know, G minor and A minor, I like how the bass sounds on it, like long notes. Tune it earlier, but just double check. Okay, cool. Cool. Just get that down. Just gonna have a cheeky grape or two. sure about that. Dun, 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 dun. Right, I'll keep noodling. I'll keep noodling. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, man. I'm going to go with that. I'll just delete all of that. So yeah, this is the bass line that I'm about to create now, and so I'm feeling this groove, but I may stop and restart, just because I feel it developing. Yeah, let me not go too deep into that, because yeah, I feel it developing. So I'll just probably lock in early on, and then develop as time goes on, as per usual. Anyway, hope you enjoy. One, two. So, actually, I want to check. I want to see. Actually, let's check the chats. Check the chats. Yeah, not sure about that. What's going on there? Anyway, yeah, that second one, it felt more like I was involved. It's not to say the first one, I was a passenger. Let me bring this a bit closer, actually. It's not to say I was a passenger. Like I clearly played. In fact, let me have a listen. Let me just have a listen. So I need to duplicate that and switch off my bass so you can't hear it anymore. And let me just have a listen. So this is the first one. Yeah, I remember starting thinking, oh, yeah. See, even here, so you can hear the. I'm feeling that, and then I got into what I discussed. But let me hear it. See how I could hear maybe how I'm feeling about the bass line, depending on my playing, because it's like if I'm feeling it, then I've noticed I naturally move around. But if I'm not, then I don't, and you can hear that. So let me just. Because I wasn't yet. So here I was, trying to feel the bass line. So I don't know now. I don't know. Alright, so what I could do is bounce both of them. That might be interesting actually. I've not done that before. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce both of them. And so if you're watching this live stream, live, then you might get an opportunity to download both of these bass lines. Later on in time, I'll probably decide which of these to keep. Maybe it'll be a hybrid. So maybe I'll have, 32 bars of one and then 32 bars of another, or 16 of another, and then, do it that way. I don't know. But as it stands tonight, I'm going to upload both of them. So you might be able to get a good deal. Technically, that'd be 50% off, something like that. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, cool. So this pop is really interesting. I don't know what it's about. Very interesting. Oh, yes I do. Okay. Because so if I was to press play here and add a fade. It's really interesting. I'll solve that before the main one. Okay, so I didn't explain this part. So what I'll do is I'll upload this, and then if you give me, well, I'm gonna take 48 hours, well, 24 to 48 hours, probably 48 hours. Within 48 hours, I will have one of these or both of these or some hybrid combination edited. So you will notice that sometimes I was still sending an idea to my hands and it didn't quite get there in time. So I may have played notes late, and this is a product. This is, a product I have to stand behind and want to stand behind. So what I'll do is I will go through and edit everything which I think needs adjusting to be in alignment with a high quality premium product. So within 48 hours, I would have done that for both of these, or a hybrid pairing, and then I will then upload that as well to the site. So what you'll have is what I'm uploading tonight. Yes, it's an unknown because I've never recorded two before. I'm not quite sure what's going to be the final product, but what I usually do is I'll record one, and then I will upload that to the site. Then you can buy that, so clearly you can see it's unedited, raw, and processed. So I'll have all of my processors on it. Then within 24 to 48 hours, I will go through it and edit as I see fit. Then I will upload that version, which will be processed. Then I'll upload that version unprocessed as well. So you usually get 3 files. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. It might be very good. Like, come to edit, I might think, maybe this is the way forward. Maybe I need to do 2 and mix them up. But we'll see. So let's highlight this. Turn it down a bit as well. In fact, I'm going to turn it down here. Yeah, not sure what that is, man. I'll have to fix it post. Yeah, I'll have to fix it post. Cool. So let me bounce that out. Just get the level down a bit. Minus 8.3. So let me bounce that. You might be asking why so low. Because wait, let me just write something. So this is creating bass. Oops. Live. Episode 14. F major. 135 BPM. So this will be processed. Then we do unedited. Processed. So I'm going to do A. Cool. Yeah, why so low? Because back in the day, when I used to produce, you would get sounds and they wouldn't be at the top of the meters, because I feel like it was understood that each sound is an ingredient for the meal, for the cake. So each sound can't be fully loud as though it's a master track. All of your elements can't be fully loud and smashing into the top of the meters, because where is there to go? So instantly, as soon as you get a sound, you have to bring it down, and then you add another sound, you have to bring it down. So what's the point of that? Although I do understand the point of it. Like, if you're going through sounds and they all sound loud and big and like, wow, like compressed, it's like, wow, this is amazing, I need these sounds. But the practicality of it is you're turning it down right away. So yeah, there's not much from my perspective, like from my usage. Like, why every sound you instantly turn it down? Why not just send it lower so that you can use it straight away? So that's my rationale with what I send out with my bass loops. So this one will be B. same volume. And take off my bass. Cool. So that's both of those bounced. So now let me add it to the site. So I'm going to open the project where I'm going to do some of the demonstrating of these bass lines, but this one is, it's almost like cheating now because I got a lot of raw material here to use. So I'll need to duplicate this and then copy or paste rather. Use selected tracks. Yep. Cool. So I'll just save that and then save it as version 8. It's very good practice to save many versions of projects. Very, very good practice, because then when you make big changes, you still have somewhere to come back to if you mess up. And yes, Logic, it does save automatically, but I like the idea of seeing, you know, version 8, 10, 12, 14, 40. I once did a project with 40. It was a video project. So let's say product demo. Yeah. All right, what to do with this now, man? I'll tell you what, I'll listen to the second one first, because when I got to the end of it, it just wasn't really. Right, let me see actually. Let me see if it was false. Let's turn it down in my headphones a bit. So what I think I'm going to give a go. Oh, so you see we are in, so remember at the top I was saying chord progression. The chord progression I'm following is a 2-3 in the key of F major. So I'm going from the 2, the G minor, to the 3, which is A minor. So you can see at the top here, these markers, that's what the numbers were in the other project. It's just I didn't color them. So this is the 2, the G minor, and then the 3, which is the A minor, and that's what this corresponds to. So it makes it easier. So if you're in Logic and you get one of these bass lines, use markers and use this, because so say In fact, let me just show you. The main base. I'm gonna make that green. So that's my first part, right? So I'm gonna loop that. This note here, right? It's a mistake there. Unless you like that sound. So let's say I like the rest of it. Cool. So I like the timing of one of these parts. So it's just behind that as well. I like that. But the last two notes I need to change, right? So I need to cut the last two notes. So I'm gonna go to another 3 and find that. And so this is where the markers come in super handy. So I can just go here. But I want movement. One moment. There's something you can put on when. So when you're, although there's an issue with it. So when you're playing, and you play on a part which is, so as I'm auditioning, you can't hear the harmony because it's not right at the beginning. There's a setting which allows you to fix that, but it does have a bit of a weird effect sometimes, so I might not look for it too much for too long. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm gonna leave it. I'll just go from here. And I like that. So I'm gonna take just these last parts, right? Just here. So on the bar, so on the line, you can feel it when you move things around in Logic like that. You can feel it snap, and that's what you want. You want it to snap because I recorded it to that time, so you want it to snap to the place where I recorded it to. So let me just have a listen to that. Slightly different timing now. Okay, so that works. I like the timing, but because it's overlapping without a fade, and you're cutting sound, and you may think, oh, where's the sound here? But you know there's noise coming from the bass, the interference from the screen. There's noise in the signal. It's not completely silent with a bass or like an electric guitar. It's a normal thing, but to solve it, we just add that fade, and then the popper's gone. There's one at the end, but that's okay. And the others I'll deal with. I'm just getting the arrangement together now. So I want 2 of those. So let's say in 16 bar segments, right? So intro, verse, now chorus. And I want to stay with this top one just to see what it's got. From where I began to do it. There. You can kind of see because these notes here are sustained notes. They're longer notes, and these ones are shorter. So maybe, or did I not do it from the 2? Okay. So I can see that with this chord, with following the chord progression, it seems that I did it from the 3, not the 2. So. in the edit, push these back. Like I could feel when I was playing it, I'm a bit on the nose, and by that I mean, so if I zoom in, I'm probably right on the bar. Oh, not so much. When I was playing, it felt really like I like to be a bit behind the beat, which these are. When I was playing, I felt like I was right on the bar. See how that sounds for like a chorus idea. Let's just play one bass. Let's play it from here. Cool. So I would change this one now. I would change this one for something a bit, well, way different, but not too far down. So I don't want the part, something a bit before that. So let's see. So I'm gonna cut that as a possibly. It's interesting. Take that and then show you a little bit of what I'm going to do in the edit. So I drag that there. This is not going to play because it's not on an audio channel. It's on a bus. So, but I'll mute it so it's not in my face. So that is the touch late. So what I'll be doing in the edit is things like this. And that one is a touch as well. So I'm just going to move that a little bit. working for me. So I'm assuming this came from there because it seems to fit. So I put it back because I didn't use it. Yeah, oh yeah. Right. So I want to put that actually here. And yeah, I'll delete that because it's just a copy. And I know I've used it because I took it from somewhere else. And this one is different, so let me make a note of that. Cool. I'll just take it from the top now. Save. So we've got intro. It's a long intro. Maybe I'll have talking on it or something. Intro, verse, chorus, verse. And you can see here, so this is my standard verse and copied, but I've changed the second part just for variation. So let's have a listen to how all of that sits together. Like the lazy feel some of these notes. So I was going to end the video there, but let me just see if I could, let's see what I did towards the end. Like you can see that the sound waves changed. So maybe, so you got intro, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. What about something like a bridge or something? I can't remember what I did. some good stuff here. That was early. So, in the edit. This note, I would do something like this, but you can see it's going into that note, so I may do something like that. So I may have to use something called flex time, which is bending the audio, or find a part which can replace it. I'll see, but just to do it quick and dirty now. So yeah, I'll change that in the post, but that's the kind of thing I do. So you heard that was clearly it couldn't stand. Like that's I won't say in fact it's a bit of a conundrum I have with these loops, right? So on the one hand, so I'll just play that. On the one hand, so that's quite early, right? It's quite early. You don't have to feel with it. And that's better. However, so I mean, I'm of the opinion that I want these to be as usable as possible for, you know, beginners to intermediate or pro or whoever wants to use them. So I would tend to fix that and make it more in alignment with how I'm playing. However, there is, you know, a certain production style where that early note, someone might move a kick to that early note and then that becomes their rhythm. Like it's way looser, and it's like, so when I'm editing, it's like a sort of battle, if you like. It's like, on the one hand, it's like, it's not wrong, the timing isn't wrong, it's just, I think it's who do you want to serve. Like maybe later on I'll do a pack where the editing is looser, like much looser, so way less strict. Whereas the ones that I do now, they're more strict. Like I don't sanitize the human element from them. Like I don't quantize them. I go in and do it by hand, each one. Well, not each one, not every single note. Not every single note needs it. But anything that I think needs it, I do it by hand and with fades and work it out like that. Yeah, maybe in the future I have to get some feedback from comments and stuff from you people out there who will be using these products to see how loose you might like me to do it. Well, the raw version is always included, but maybe you want me to take like another step towards editing and you know, quote unquote cleaning it up, compared to the raw version. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, let me just take that, because I did listen to it and I marked it. So this could be like a bridge kind of vibe. And let's just say I dropped the kick out. just check this is straight, because I think I may have. So something to watch out for. So let me just undo that. So I was about to just drag this in place, but oh wait, because that was faded just now. It's not an illusion. Okay, yeah, here, yeah. Okay, so what I was about to do was drag this section here, and I thought that I'd faded this part there. So then when I drag that and put that on the bar, you can see here it's not on the bar. It's hanging over. So let's just give you an example of what I mean. So then I drag that right, and then I get this. So you can hear that's wrong, and that is because of this little tail here. So I'm going to remove that and then drag it straight onto the line. That's weird. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is a bit longer. That's interesting. Oh, so I took too much. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll just yeah, so this would be the see how good it is. Okay. As well, so I've got like a bit of an arrangement going on here, but it doesn't matter. I can always sort it out after. So about just a snare. And then hi-hats. Just want to make sure I get this right. So, oops. Glue that together. And then, I think it was there. Cut that. See how that sounds. No, from here. I do want that cleanly. Oh, that's a bit too much. I think I've dragged. Yeah. So that's too much. I've dragged too much. You can, and I heard that overlap. So that would do. This. So I hear that. It's a tiny bit early. Maybe both of those. Move them back a bit. That one as well. It's just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. That note as well. Just push that back a touch. And just that back end just needs to be faded. Oh. There as well. These are all really subtle. Like you can see, it's not late or anything. Well, it's not out of time. It is a bit late, but I like it like that. Let's see if I can move that back up even more. It's not early. It's not early. It's just the feel. I'm going for the feel. Like in terms of time, it's on time. It's just I want a particular feel with this. So this section here would be wrong because it needs to smoothly go back to the lower notes. So I'm playing like higher up on the bass here. So these two needs to be like dum, 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 so that we're back into the low notes. But I'm gonna have to wrap the video there. It's getting on for 10:30. Yeah, it's been cool, man. It's been cool. I'm glad I went with the second bass line. And I'm quite pleased with this actually. And this would be like the very surface level. So you get these bass lines, or this bass line, this episode, and you would, you know, hunt for bits and pieces that you like, and then you, as long as you're listening to the chord progression, or you can see, you know, there's a visual representation of the chord progression, you're all good to just drag and drop things in like Lego kind of thing. And my advice would be to do what I did. So just go and find bits and pieces. Don't worry about the clips initially. Just construct your bass line, and then after smooth all of the transitions, because you might start doing it and then you may think, no, I don't really like that part, and then you just want to move it away and copy it somewhere else or something. But if you start adding the transition, adding the fades, like to this one, as I've demonstrated before, because it's not on this bar, when you drag that, it's gonna be wrong. Like what will happen is this, and then that's off now. And then it's just gonna lose time. So yeah, I would recommend that you just get your arrangement together first, and then worry about fades and making sure everything sounds good going into each other. But as you can see, I'm just scratching the surface of this, man. Not really digging deep. It's like low hanging fruit. It's just like, yeah, that one. I'm on a live stream and need to get a track together. And yeah, as easy as that, I've come up with something which I think is pretty cool. It moves. It's got variation. I'm not really, they say in the UK, like pushing the boat out with variation on this. Like I could go way further, you know, later on there's way more I could, you know, start taking. I don't know, for example, so I could start taking bars. So I'd take that bar, and then maybe that bar, and then I don't know, the beginning of some other bar, like I don't know, like there, and then put all of those together and providing I use my ear, because, you know, sometimes I was playing on different places on the bass. As long as I use my ear to see how they all interact together, you can create something I didn't play, you know what I mean? You can create something brand new. Maybe a pattern, or, you know, a set of notes that I didn't conceive of during this live stream, during the creation of the bass. But anyway, that is all from me for tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. You can catch me on TikTok, and Facebook and YouTube. You can see these full episodes on YouTube. You can see clips on TikTok and Facebook and YouTube. See clips. At the moment, I'm a bit quiet because I'm really tired. No, I'm focusing all of my resources on this website creation. So I need to, you know, prepare all of the loops that I've currently got, and it's new artwork, it's new text, new descriptions, new samples. I'm going back through them as well, just to make sure that the edits are really tight and like I'm 100% happy with them. So it's like another period or course, another course of quality control, just to be 100%. So, you know, I record it, then I've gone through all of the bass lines, but for this new website, I'm just going back through them just to make doubly sure that everything is awesome. All right, cool. So yeah, that's it from me. I do this every Wednesday at 8:30 BST. So join me next Wednesday on TikTok and on Facebook. Until then, make great music and enjoy life. And I'm just going to play this, allow the latency to catch up, and then I'll end the stream.